Hello.
Hi, Luca. How are you? Very nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you as well, Mr. Dill.
All right. Well, congratulations on your award at FXstreet. I don't see the trophy on your desk, but you won it for best sell-side analysis, buddy. Congratulations to you.
Well, thank you so much. It was so amazing because I didn't expect, FX. I didn't expect. It was just wow. It made me
Yeah.
want to drive. Yeah, it just made me want to.
Wow. You're a humble guy. I once said it's with great pride I'd like to announce how humble I've become. But you're a very humble guy, and why don't you tell us a little bit about your analysis? In fact, why don't we get in a time machine with me, Lukman, okay? You still look like a pretty young guy.
In heart.
No gray hair. Tell us about how your trading journey began, how you got involved in the industry, what that journey was like for you.
It all started back in 2006, 2007, when I was still in my freshman years in university. I didn't know anything about Forex then, but I had a housemate. We both studied the same subject, economics, but he didn't go to his lectures, nor go to any tests, but he was always happy. And he was always making money somehow, and I was asking, how do you do this? Then he brought me to his room, and he showed me a chart. I don't even remember the broker, and right in front of me, he made so much money in such a short period of time, and that really got my world spinning. And from that day on, I had to research everything about FX. What is foreign exchange? How can I get into foreign exchange? The technicals, the fundamentals, and moving on. This is where I am right now. So I self-taught myself how to do technical analysis, but I didn't know anything about the fundamentals, and I learned the hard way that they're both the same sides of the same coin. You need technicals and fundamentals to go hand in hand. So I wanted to be in a position where I can learn from professionals. That's how I ended up in a broker, research analyst.
Okay. Although being self-taught, and I share that with you, I had influences. There were other technicians whose stuff I read and started to observe how powerful some of the things were that they were using. Did you have any major influences technically?
Oh, yeah, there was one, Steve Lovey. There was one major one I had. He was a technician, I think, Steve Lovey. This guy has been a technical analyst for like 20, 30 years, candlestick formations.
Oh, Steve Neeson.
Oh, Steve Neeson. Apologies. Yeah, Steve Neeson.
Okay, so you gravitated towards candlestick trading through Neeson.
Candlestick analysis, yeah.
Interesting. Okay, and now you've learned that you have to marry the fundamentals with the technicals. Does that happen? And does that, now that you say it's 50-50, you give them both 50-50 weight? For example, we have the NFP on Friday. Do you take positions in front of a red number like the NFP?
So that's a very interesting question. Even though I understand fundamentals are important, I'm more of a person who likes to wait until after the release, because I've understood the NFP, no matter what the result is, the market is going to move in that direction for a week and a half. So rather than trying to catch a falling life or play guessworks, you can wait for the release. Then if it's a strong figure, we know that it's going to be dollar strength. So if dollar strength takes center stage for the week, I'll go in positions which I know the dollar will strengthen.
Yeah, so prudence over valor, right? Prudence over valor. Lukman, when people tell me, oh, I was long before the NFP and the euro went up 150 pips, you know what I say to them? Good guess. So tell us a little bit about your sell-side analysis and where you provide it, and how often you provide it on FXstreet, and where people could find it, etc.
Yeah, so with the sell-side analysis, we try to provide it at least twice a day, but we want to write reports on big moves rather than writing reports for the sake of writing reports. So if there's nothing happening in the afternoon, but there's something big in the morning, we'll probably see our analysis. So at minimum, we'll have our analysis 5 times a week. It's on the FXstreet section.
Okay.
Let me try to share my screen.
And what session do you mainly trade, and geographically, where do you trade from?
So I'm living in Cyprus now. I'm in the beautiful land of Cyprus. So we're 2 hours ahead from the UK. So
Okay.
I like to catch the London session breakout.
Okay. Has Cyprus recovered fully from the bail-in a few years ago? What's life like? What's life like there in Cyprus, Lukman?
Life is very, very beautiful in Cyprus. I must say, it's relaxed. The people are very friendly. The weather's amazing. The food is top quality. It's almost like a paradise.
Okay, well, God, then you're living the dream, right? Where did you move from? Where did you move from before you came to Cyprus?
I moved from the United Kingdom, central London, actually. Yeah. So this is completely different from the UK. In the UK, things are very fast, hustle and bustle. Quite the opposite here.
How are housing expenses there in Cyprus? You could tell I'm doing an interview for myself now.
Well, honestly, I think it's very, very good value. You know, it's the cost of living is not that much. You know, when you put everything
why don't we switch gears again? You know, a lot of people feel like they have to know what's going on in every pair. And I bring up the example, Lukman, that when I was on the floor of the CME, that I knew guys that stayed in one trading pit for 20 years, their whole career, and they knew one market like the back of their hand. You know, they may have been in cattle and never traded a gold contract or an S&P contract. When I know you're an educator as well, so what do you advise people to do as far as concentrating on how many pairs so that they can learn to master a few instead of being a jack of all trades?
Yeah, that is a very good point you've put on, and from my experience, you know, when you're playing with the foreign exchange markets, it's so easy to look at the euro dollar, the pound yen, the pound Aussie. You know, there are hundreds and hundreds of pairs, but if you're new to the markets, I feel the best thing you can do is just look at the power fours, look at the euro dollar, the pound US dollar, Australian dollar, dollar yen, because in the end, believe it or not, they're all correlated. So play with the power fours when you're a little bit more comfortable and you understand the fundamentals of the other pairs, like if you understand what's happening in the United Kingdom or the fundamentals behind the Fed's behavior, then you could focus on the pound US dollar.
Are you an early indicator of a Brexit? You left the UK. Is the UK going to leave the EU now that Lukman Otunga has moved to Cyprus? Is that an early market tell indication?
You know the Brexit debate is quite delicate and fragile. You know, it's a 50-50, and ultimately, no matter what anybody says, I don't think anybody's gonna know what the result is because it's evenly split. I mean, from what I've seen in the city, a lot of city people are saying it will not make any sense for the UK to leave the Brexit, simply because of the EU trade. We're quite intertwined, and us leaving the EU would create so much uncertainties that had we stayed in the EU, things would have been okay. It's a very, very delicate topic, and you have to be careful what you say and how you say it. We've seen what's happened on TV already.
Yeah, well, I think it's delicate because you could talk about all the economic arrangements, but what trumps that, and that's not a play on words but about Donald Trump, but what trumps that is what's happened in Paris and happened in Belgium, and the fear of terrorist attacks and not controlling borders in Europe. Has there been any spillover in Cyprus with what happened in Belgium? Have you noticed any type of security being upgraded there?
No, and the reason why, from what I've seen, I don't think anything may happen in Cyprus, simply because of what it is and where it's situated. You know, in Cyprus, migrants won't want to come to Cyprus because it doesn't lead to the route of coming to Europe. If you see where I'm coming from, Cyprus is quite a strategically placed land where you have no benefits coming here if you're an immigrant or if you want to do any attacks. It makes no sense.
So no immigrants, although they're migrating from the Middle East to the Greek Isles and Cyprus being near Greek, you're not seeing any inflow of immigrants into Cyprus.
The only one time I remember such happening was almost 3.5, 4 months ago when at least 115 came to Cyprus, but they came on an accident. They were trying to they didn't want to come to Cyprus.
Okay. So let me ask you this for a little bit, back to the markets. Do you consider yourself a position, swing, or day trader?
I think I'm
all of the above.
I think I'm more of a position trader. You know, I look at the monthly, weekly dailies. A saying I said myself is the daily rarely lies. Anything you see in a daily time frame is more or less the truth. You know, there's not that much noise. So if you see a strong bearish trend on the daily time frame, that trend is probably the real deal. So I trade on a daily when I can. You know. Okay.
Well then, since you use the telescope, I'm going to put you on the spot, Lukman, and ask you for Nostra Otunga. Okay. Of Nostradamus and Lukman Otunga. When you look at your monthlies, your weeklies, and your dailies in the Euro-USD, moving sideways in this range from 104 to basically 114, 115. What's your bias, and do you think we're going to either come out of the upside of the range and be looking at a 120 plus handle in the euro, or are we going to finally take out the 104 low and see parity, or could both happen and just one before the other?
Can I share my screen?
Excuse me?
May I share my screen?
Oh, sure. You go to the upper left-hand corner. You'll see a green box with an arrow.
Perfect.
There we go. Okay. Beautiful.
Yes.
A picture speaks 1,000 words. So we're looking at to me, looks like a symmetrical triangle.
You've got it, you know, and I can see potentially higher highs and higher lows being created on the euro-dollar daily time frame. And what my bias is, if we can secure a strong daily close above the 1.12 level, this would actually potentially create a new lower high. So a new higher low, and with this new higher low being in place, I think we may have a breakout above 1.134. So I'm actually bullish in the euro dollar right now, and I think once we get a breakout above 1.134, the sky's the limit. The parity dream is in the past.
Right. So you're looking at pretty much a 1,300 pip formation, and say for example we get the breakout of the triangle, looks like 112.5 or so. Breaking that blue line above that green line and closing above it. It looks like that would measure about 126.
You've got it.
Is that viable when you go to your weekly or monthly?
So
okay, now we're on your weekly.
So yeah, once we have that breakout above that, the next important level above 1.13, if possible, is 1.17.
Right. 114. Yeah, and then you have that return line. If it would get back in the broken bullish channel, that would be a real powerful signal for you, wouldn't it? Because we've been trading outside of it since we broke down. We had that one back test at 114 and came off. If we get back inside that channel, maybe we could go the return line above it, and that would take us up there, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other?
It all depends on Friday. Yeah. I mean, we've got NFP this Friday, so
yeah.
One thing I've learned with NFP, the truth about NFP is NFP actually has the potential to destroy the fundamentals, either you like it or not. You can have the best technical setup. If the NFP says no, the NFP says no.
Yeah, basically you could throw your charts away for at least an hour on Friday, right?
You've got it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the dollar index I find quite interesting is because it's all this ruckus about interest rate hikes and interest rate rises in April, in June and July, and I feel investors have been left bewildered because if you looked at the previous meeting the Fed had, they said that the possibility of 2 interest rate rises was on the table. But lately, if you looked at what Fed members have been saying, they've been saying that there's a possibility of an April US rate rise. I don't think this is possible, although data
How about
from
June? How about June?
there's a 50% possibility in June. June is another picture. That's a month, April, May, June.
Right.
That's 2.5, 3 months away. But April, I feel that's a bit too close. So what I feel is, I feel this inflated expectations over the possibility of an April rate hike may wear off, and the dollar should be left vulnerable. And the dollar should be left vulnerable. This
Looks like a failing rally to me. Janet Yellen stopped in our community early this morning because she's going to be testifying in front of Congress, and she said,
I hope that the NFP will give it some direction so that the Fed is much here so that we could talk about maybe raising rates in April and possibly do it in June in case we don't. But in June, if we don't want to, we don't have to, and we'll let you know.
That's my Janet Yellen imitation. So,
you sound perfectly like her.
So, all right. So it looks like the dollar, the euro, a lot of things are lining up for the dollar to be under pressure or at least be softer for a while. Am I encapsulating your viewpoint?
Yeah.
Okay, so how about U.S. dollar yen? Do you think we could end up with a risk-off move with the dollar weakening, or is it going to be supportive of risk assets because the weaker dollar will boost commodity prices? What's your take on that?
See, that's a very nice question as well. But I feel that with the dollar yen, dollar weakness should take center stage, and the risk off trading environment, risk aversion, which should boost our appetite for the yen, should actually send the dollar yen lower. So I'm actually bearish in the dollar yen in a bigger picture. There's so much going on globally, There's so much going on globally. We've still got the lingering China woes in the background. We've still got Eurozone growth not looking too good. We've still got geopolitical tensions. Even though gold has been slightly bearish, I still feel the risk aversion that's still lingering around the global markets, plus potential dollar weakness, should be the right ingredients to send the dollar yen back to 112 and potentially lower.
Well, what a great interview, Lukman. It's a pleasure meeting you, and now I understand how you won Best Sell Side Analysis, because I really like tacticians that look at longer term charts, and especially since you work for a broker, right? You're employed by FXTM, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, and you would think that a broker, FXTM, would want you focusing on 15-minute, 30-minute charts to generate trading volume, and you're out there providing the big picture to people. Because I don't know about you, I've turned into a believer that less is more, and that the hardest thing in this business is the waiting. And the waiting for the setups. And like Tom Petty says, the waiting is the hardest part. And really a great interview, and congratulations to you. And I hope that you continue to go upward and onward, and pips rain down on you and your pupils that you teach, and much prosperity to you throughout the rest of the year, buddy.
Thank you, sir. It's a pleasure. I hope to do this again. It was so fun. It's always great dissecting the markets, looking at the bigger picture, looking at the pros and cons. It'll be interesting what Friday has to offer.
You ever come in and watch other interviews that I do with?
Yeah. When I can.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm really.
So you're aware of my efforts and my mission to build up and edify traders every day.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And you know what? You've added to that today with your appearance today, and I'm proud to call you my trading warrior brother, now living in paradise and living the dream. Congratulations to you again, Lukman. Nice meeting you, partner.
Thank you very much.
Good hunting.
Perfect. Okay.
All right. Everyone thank Lukman Otunga. You could follow him. His Twitter handle is @LUKMAN_FXTM. And follow his tweets. I'm going to follow you. I'm going to get your Twitter handle and follow you today so I can keep in touch with what you're doing, buddy. Okay?
Great stuff. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay. You're very welcome. You could just check out a Hangout anytime and go back to your yearly charts.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Okay.
See you, buddy.
I'll see you.
Take care.
Bye.
Everyone thank Lukman. So Lukman, you may want to check out his analysis, and he's kind of on the same page as we are. Some dollar softness, some bearishness in the yen, euro having a chance to surprise to the upside, and another great interview in LAR, in my opinion. In my extremely accurate and humble opinion, if you enjoyed that interview, give me a Y. There's mine. There's my Y. So Euro extending this.